Well everyone, it's time for us to go ahead and talk about the iPhone 11 Pro and see how this phone holds up in the later part of 2022. Now this is by far one of my most favorite iPhones I've ever used. Had an amazing time using it for about a little bit over a year, from 2019 to 2020, and I still use this phone from time to time. It's one of my favorite phones of all time for sure. Now if you want to pick it up, links will be down in the description. You can get it from there, help support the channel at the same time. Now a lot of things have changed with this phone since my mid-2022 review of this thing. So first of all, we got the brand new iOS version, we got brand new iPhones, and this thing has gone down a little bit in the used market as well. Now starting off with iOS 16, actually I'll hit on the body. 5.8-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display, looks beautiful. I love this panel, lightning port at the bottom, frosted glass back, the first iPhone to bring a frosted glass back, and I was so happy to see that. That type of capability still has transitioned over to all the other iPhones since then, so those are some of my favorite things about this phone. So the build quality, even though it's kind of like the same size as the previous iPhone, it still holds up and looks so beautiful when compared to, these other devices for sure. Now, the iOS 16 update, I will definitely tell you, was a very interesting update for sure. I did install it on this device and I installed almost every beta. I would say if there were however many betas, I probably installed 60% of them, and I installed the official version. I've been keeping up to date on this phone, and so far it has been holding up fairly well. There's obviously been issues all over the place with iOS 16. We've had issues with, battery life, stability, random glitches, random bugs, the whole 9 yards. We typically have those types of issues regardless, but the fact that we got them, on an iPhone like this, I will say, not that surprising, and you probably should have expected more bugs if I'm being honest. Now, one of my favorite things about iOS 16 was the fact that this specific device actually ended up getting a majority of the features within that version of software. And even now, a few months, I would say, into its official release, I would say about almost 2 months, we're still at a very interesting spot where there are new features coming in with iOS 16, and they are still being supported on this iPhone as well. So that is another massive thing. The fact that we have that type of capability, again, is really cool. And personally, I love that about this specific phone too. So the fact that we have that type of capability on this phone, having all the features and everything, and we don't have to worry about features being removed, is a really cool thing. And personally, I'm a massive fan of that for sure. Now moving on to the iPhone 14s, I did get a chance, I've been comparing the iPhone 14 against basically all the other iPhones before that, and the iPhone 11 Pro is still holding up very well. Personally, if I was having something like the iPhone 11 Pro, I would probably end up keeping that phone and not upgrading to the iPhone 14s. And just because there's just so much similarity, I would probably wait until the next iPhones, or just wait until they go down in the used market a little bit more, and then buy that iPhone from there. I think the iPhone 11 Pro sits at a very, very good spot where it's still competing fairly well against the iPhone 14. And I think that is a very strong testament of how good of a job the iPhone 14 is. And I think that's a really strong testament of how good the iPhone 11 is. So, in the 11 Pro specifically, I think as of right now, it's holding up very well. And personally, that's kind of where I'm at. If I were to have the iPhone 11 Pro, I would probably keep it. If you don't own an iPhone like the 11 Pro and it's much, much older, it may make a little bit more sense to purchase this phone, maybe over another one. That is something I've seen constantly, and that can probably end up being your next iPhone if you want one for less than $400. And if you want to save the most amount of money, getting in the used market rather than the certified refurbished from Apple is probably an awesome thing as well. So that kind of covers it up here. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.